Hello and welcome live. And today we're talking about the three biggest fears or limiting beliefs that you might be dealing with. And I'll be bringing on soon Angel Ribo, coach of over 1,500 CEOs, and also host on Mindalia TV, which is all about human potential, with over 850,000 subscribers, and founder of Wisdom for Kids, organization that is designed to help empower kids in Central and Latin America. Hello, Brian. To be empowered through entrepreneurship and come out of poverty and be able to support themselves and their families. So we'll be doing that very soon. This is part of the Tap Into Your Genius event. And the premise is this, is that genius is not just for the few. Hi, Callie. It's not just for the few, but it is something, the way our brains are designed, that genius is within all of our minds, our brains. And if we can tap into that, then we too can achieve amazing things. Hi, Leo. And that's what this is about. And so one of the things that I've found, I think one of the first things that people have to do to really tap into the genius part of their brains is to change their minds, change their mindset, and eliminate negative thinking and overcome limiting beliefs. And so that's what this is dedicated to. So I'd love to hear your comments and feedback as we're going. And so I would like to bring in now Angel. Come on in, man.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Bienvenidos a nuestro programa.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for joining us. And we have our friend Einstein here. Okay. So he's like one of the biggest geniuses, right? And he was an amazing guy. But I think also, hello, David, is that, you know, he knew certain processes and ways of thinking. And I think that we shouldn't feel intimidated that we cannot achieve things that like he has achieved. That the way our brains are designed is just so amazing what is possible. And you know, I just want to encourage everybody in that, and that's what this is about. Hello, Eric Tischler. Appreciate you joining us today. Somebody that we know from the tribe thing.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you for being with us.
Right.
Morning, Tracy.
Tracy Anderson, the Movie Institute.
Look at that.
Movie Institute is having their big thing with kids. They're going to be talking to teach kids how to make movies.
Also with kids?
They teach kids how to make movies.
I have to get to know Tracy. Tracy.
A friend of mine.
We have to talk, Tracy.
Keith Duncan created a school that teaches kids how to make movies.
Oh my goodness.
And so it blesses kids. It helps them to be able to think and just, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
in organizational ways, create a movie together. Good morning. So anyway, I've been a teacher there. And so I think they're about to go launch pretty soon. Okay, so why don't we start first with our first limiting belief I have written here.
Okay, please go
Is that
ahead.
good?
Yeah,
All right.
it is good.
We'll have a little communication back and forth as we go. But once again, Angel's a really
Hi,
good
Blake.
guy.
Thank you.
He's a coach of over 1,500 CEOs, the host of Mindalia TV. You can see it on YouTube. They have over 850,000 subscribers. It's about human potential, and that's how he and I met through. I was speaking on a panel at the Dallas Startup Week, and he came up to me and told me about that. And I told him about the documentary that I'm making about human potential and what we've talked about so far. So anyway, and also the founder of Wisdom for Kids, .today. Wisdom for Kids .today. You can find out what it's about, okay? But
Thank you.
this is something that I love about you, Angel, is that you founded this organization, and that you really love kids, and that your dedication to help empower them out of poverty,
Exactly.
teaching them entrepreneurship. So I think that's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we go. Are you ready?
Oh, I am more than ready. Thank you.
I'm ready. Wait, we can start. Okay. All right. So here it is. Someone that I talked to was saying this, and everybody will be anonymous. And also, so if you join in with comments anytime you want, we can respond to that as well. Is this? This person is saying that the fear that they deal with is that they have a secure income coming in from investments, but still they are always worried about money. And frankly, this person is afraid that they'll be put out on the street and go homeless. And how do you deal with that fear?
Well, first thing is, there's basically 4 steps that we follow every time we want to handle, someone's limiting beliefs. As you said before, my experience comes from, since 1999 for the last, 19 years, I've been helping more than 1,500 CEOs in 33 different countries. And I want to emphasize these 33 different countries because in every different country, people think differently. And they actually are, raised with different beliefs, different belief systems, in a different society that has different values and different principles.
Right. Different cultures, different way of thinking.
Exactly. So, the first thing that we always do is, you have to definitely, the main reason why you have those limiting beliefs and, they keep on being there with you all the time is because they come from the physical world. Okay. So we see, we open our eyes, we see ourselves in a physical world in which, besides what we are doing, there's many other things going on, a lot of things going on in our world. This is the reality, right? And there's media, and there's all those teachings that our parents, taught us when we were kids.
Sure.
So we have a physical reality, and when we open our eyes, we are attached to that reality. We are attached to that reality. We are attached to that reality. To the person that had this, isn't it a paradox to have this limiting belief? Isn't it a paradox that you are already above most of us, that probably we don't have maybe those residual incomes coming from investment, but this person already has those investments. He already has this, residual income coming, but he's still concerned.
Still worried.
Right?
Afraid.
So where does that fear come from? So again, it comes from this physical reality. That's why the first thing that we have to do is we have to deprive as much as possible from our senses. And I always start saying, just close your eyes. Step number 1, just close your eyes. Close your eyes and start breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, just, at the normal pace. You don't have to teach your body how fast you have to breathe because you do it automatically. So just deprive. The first thing that you have to do to start, overcoming the limiting belief is go inside yourself, deprive of your senses as much as you can, right? And start focusing on your breath. That's number 1. Number 2, we have to understand that we, as human beings, we are made of, obviously, cells, and we are made of atoms. What is an atom? Well, we have this gentleman behind us, Albert Einstein, with those equations, exactly. This guy, behind us. So he was one of the guys that started to talk about what is, quantum physics, right? So he started to study the atom a lot, and he discovered, or he knows, because everybody knows that already, that we, as the atoms, are 99.99999% of energy, and we are 0.00001% of matter. What does that mean? That we are mostly energy. We are mostly energy. So my question to you is, how much do you use your energy knowing that you are 99.99999% of energy? Mm-hmm. Okay, so by the way, feel free to say hello to anybody there because I think
Denise joined us, and she's a great.
We should be polite.
And she came to a number of my events, and she's a good, thoughtful person.
And even more to Denise,
and she's the one that made that wonderful post.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the
thank you, Denise.
episode we did last week. And
absolutely.
Also about your organization, Wisdom for Kids.
Thank you, absolutely. So again, we are energy, but another question to you guys: has anybody ever taught you how to use your energy, knowing that you are 99.99999%?
Yeah, what's the significance of us being energy? Why do you keep, other times I've heard you talk, why is that such an important point you bring up?
Because we are mostly energy and we don't use it.
As opposed to physical matter.
As opposed to physical matter, exactly.
Okay.
So what you see from me or from Jeff today, or when you see yourself in the mirror, you see yourself, right? You look at yourself, what you see is 0.00001% of your real you. And that's so important. So when your reality, what you see, your physical world, your physical body is only 0.00001% of what it really is.
Just joined.
Awesome. Thank you.
He's a really cool guy.
Awesome.
A friend of mine.
Good.
Very special person.
And we like his hat.
Yeah, we like his hat. I don't know.
He's a cool guy.
He's probably laughing right now.
Okay.
He's a very nice person.
We love you. Okay, so let's carry on. So we are already energy. We don't use it. We nobody teaches us how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have those limiting beliefs because we focus all the time on the 0.0001. So physical reality, we are taught all those limiting beliefs when we are kids. Up to the age of 6, we are done. All those limiting beliefs at our age of 6 are ingrained in our brain. Okay, so what is a limiting belief from a brain perspective? Again, guys, I'm a very practical guy, okay? I'm not a scientist. I just know this for a fact after talking to 1,500 people, or obviously many more, CEOs, also very, very busy people and executives, exactly, for 19 years in 33 different countries. Okay, so, these limiting beliefs are neuronal connections, okay, in our brain, neuronal connections that have been firing together for so long that now they are wired. They are wired, okay? So limiting beliefs are wired neuronal connections, neurons that are wired, okay? So this is exactly what happens. So how do we untangle this?
Yeah.
How do we untangle? So again, be aware that you are energy as opposed to matter. Excuse me, I was touching the table and that was moving, sorry.
That's okay. Don't touch the table.
Exactly, that's the physical limitation right here. It's a limiting belief here, right here. So,
yeah,
exactly. So, number 2, become aware of your energy, and you are so much more than what you see around you. So much more. Okay. So what we have to do is number 3 is transcend. So how do we transcend? How do we transcend our physical reality? Because every time we open our eyes, boom, physical reality, limiting belief, it's there. So what we have to do is we have to start creating new neuronal connections. So some people would say, okay, so why don't we actually start untangling the limiting beliefs, the neuronal connections which are already wired? Why don't we do something to unwire them?
Let's do it.
Because this is not going to work. What we have to do, and that's the trick here, what we have to do is to create new ones. So when we stop firing the limiting beliefs neural connections, those will unwire. Okay. So exactly. So we have to create.
The other one's going to unwind and disappear.
Exactly. That's why, again, if we want to create those new ones, we have to start firing together new neurons that come from new thoughts. Which are the thoughts that we have to create? So we have to create a new thought which is related to the new reality or scenario that we want to create. In this case, with this limiting belief, which is, even though I have a residual income, I'm afraid that at some point I will be on the street without any money.
And homeless.
And homeless.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, okay, so how do we create this belief? How do we create this new belief that that's never going to happen? Okay, so we have to create in our mind our new reality, a new reality in which, we live in a world that's not happening, as if had already happened. So our brain has every single day generates 50, 60, 70,000, some people say, thoughts every single day. We're always thinking. And a good example is the shower, okay? So most of us shower in the morning, some of us shower in the evening. But when we are in the shower, our mind never pays any attention to the shampoo, nor to the shower gel, nor to the conditioner. No, we're just thinking about what's going to happen, what happened the day before. Too bad. So again, most important thing, start thinking about new reality. And the way we told you the other day to do that was to start the scripting. And we said, script your new reality using present tense, okay, as if you were living it today. Today, we're going to show you another exercise that you can do to actually start creating thoughts. And as opposed to be reactive to the thoughts that your brain is sending you all the time, start creating thoughts. And this is an exercise we shared with our audience while we were having the Tap into Your Genius events, which is create a number of thoughts. Do this exercise, create a number of thoughts. Let's say I want to create 50 thoughts in the next, let's say 10 minutes, okay? And you time it. Do the exercise. If you've never done it, you will realize that in 10 minutes to create 50 thoughts, it's really, really, really difficult. That's how wired we are to all those limiting beliefs and all those beliefs, all those thoughts that continuously come as a bomber as a bomb to our mind for the entire day.
Right.
So again, the exercise that we are proposing you to do today is close your eyes and for 10 minutes, try to create 50. So number one, okay? So excuse me, number them, please. So let's say thought number one, okay? So just focusing on your breath. Thought number one is everything with your mind, and you create thought number one, okay? Then thought number two, and you create thought number two. Now it's easy to say, but when you're by yourself, what is going to happen? I guarantee you. You know what's going to happen? That after thought number three or number four, you will start thinking about something else, okay? I'm not going to tell you go to thought number one again and create a different thought number one. No, just carry on, just continue doing this, and you will realize that actually it's not easy to do it. But what's the purpose of this exercise? Is that you are able to resume having this ability of creating thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you are deprived of the sense of sight and you start thinking and you start creating, what you're doing is having again the ability to create new thoughts. Okay, new thoughts. So you have already started thinking about the new reality you want to create, and now you are taming your brain, because you are using you're using your capacity to create new thoughts. Okay. Mm-hmm. I really would like to tell you that from now on, several times a day, do this, and it can be any thought. You don't have to think about something specific. You don't have to even think about that particular reality. Those thoughts, the reason why we're creating thoughts is because we want you to resume having that, it's called neuroplasticity, your ability to be flexible in creating those thoughts, okay? There's some people that even say that there's some chemicals that we eat with our foods that actually prevent us from being able to improve the plasticity of our brain. That's written, I mean, you can Google all those things. Again, all my experience comes from practice with high executives that have a very difficult life and very small time to overcome their challenges in their lives, mm-hmm. and in their lives and in their businesses. And the last step is, what is that thing that I have learned? What is that thing that I have learned from executives, from CEOs, that has helped them a lot? Yeah. To have a life in which they are consistently working on their ultimate reality that they want to create, and creating new thoughts all the time. And this is considering that their business is a game, that their life is a game. If you realize, I always talk about kids, obviously because I have this foundation, that's my life purpose, to help underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs. But kids are so special. Kids have this plasticity, which is innate, right? Mm-hmm. So they are born with this plasticity that we unfortunately lose. So those kids, what would you say from 1 to 10? How much do kids like playing? How much? 10.
Every day.
And they play all the time, right? Mm-hmm. So it's funny. Let me tell you a story. I don't know if I shared that story before. One time I wanted to control my kid. I have 3 kids. My 17-year-old now, when he was, I think, 11, I wanted to control the way he was playing a game online. And I actually faked an identity, and I was playing his tribe in that game. And I just wanted to know what he was doing, what he was saying, because there was a chat, right? So let's picture this. There was 100 people on his tribe. It was a game, online game, video game, okay, that is connected to The Hobbit? The Hobbit, okay. So right. There he was. It was one of his, tribe members, and he was the leader of the tribe, right? And they were having those chats, and he was using this. He was cursing. Everybody was cursing and using bad words. But, I was concerned about my kid, but I said, okay, I let it go. That has to happen. Whatever it is. Guess what? By the time, after a few weeks, the tribe, okay, his tribe started to lose members. My son's tribe started to lose members. Yeah. Okay. Who would you say would were the members that stayed longer in his tribe? The kids or the adults? The kids or the adults? The adults. And let me tell you another story. Even my kid, being the leader of the tribe online game, he actually left the game. After 1 year, I went back to the game. The guys, the players that were adults, were still playing the game. What I'm trying to say is that we all have this innate, willingness, and we still like playing games all the time. So do you realize that playing a game, you don't take things personal, you're not judgmental, you just play, you just have fun. Again, games are, you do things one after the other. It's simple, it's fast. Obviously, it's fast. That's why it's addictive, right? But it's fun, and fun is high energy again. Fun. It's fun. So what I'm trying to say is, no wonder why people who are really successful with their lives and their businesses, they consider them a game. And games have new releases, new versions.
Right.
You can take different roles, so you can change from one role to another. What happens when you change your role? When you change your role, actually, your brain changes. The rewiring of your brain changes, right? So you're actually putting yourself, increasing your ability to create new pathways in your brain, and so to create new thoughts, to create a new life. Okay, so these are the four steps. Again, if we all consider our lives and our business as a game, everything would be so much more simple.
So can we go through that again? We talked about the person that was struggling with having residual income, but still being afraid of money, worried about money all the time, and afraid that they'll actually be put on the street homeless. So you said 4 steps.
Mm-hmm. Number one, get out of your physical world, which is increasing your limiting beliefs. Mm-hmm. Close your eyes and start breathing. Okay. Number 2, be aware that you are energy. Okay. Be aware. Just become aware that you're fully energy. Okay. You are energy, much more than matter. Okay. So just focus on your breath. Then be aware that you are energy. Okay. Number three, when you have done that, please start scripting your new reality. Okay. Start scripting your new reality. You're actually exactly writing. So you go back to your site. Okay. You go back to, and you start writing. Writing your new reality. What that new thing that you want to get accomplished in your life and in your business. In this case would be, hey, I woke up this morning, and I just went outside my 100, 200, 300, 500 square feet bedroom, and I opened the balcony's door, and I had this 100 meter swimming pool in front of me, overlooking the Pacific Ocean in the beaches of Maui. You just start scripting, and immediately, actually, when you realize that you're doing that, actually your mood starts changing. Mm-hmm. So when you do that, you are starting to rewire your brain.
The neuroplasticity.
Exactly, because you're starting to create a new reality through scripting your new life, okay? And the exercise I told you about creating new thoughts is going to help you script, because the more you are able to create new thoughts, the more you will be able to imagine things. Right. The more you will be able, when you are scripting, you script absolutely, completely new things.
I've actually been talking to my sister about this.
Okay.
And if you remember, she fell and she fractured her femur.
I remember that.
Yeah. And so I actually have been telling her that I want her to begin to script what her life is going to be when she's fully walking again, healthy. And so she also has a learning disability that's kind of helping her through the process. And so we were just talking on the phone yesterday, and I just said, to her, just like I'm getting up this morning, I feel great. I'm walking across the hallway. I'm out with my friends, enjoying them. I feel so happy that I can now travel anywhere I want, fully mobile, and see my friends and do whatever I want. And so I've just been encouraging her to do that same process so she can imagine being fully mobile again, because that's my goal. And I have for her is I want to be fully mobile again. So I'm helping her to imagine that scenario, to script it out and see it.
And when you have scripted it, number mm-hmm. 4, mm-hmm. start taking your life as a game. Okay? Mm-hmm. Stop being judgmental. Just play the game. What's the worst thing that can happen to you? Just play the game. Just play the game. Consider something. There's something really important in life, which is listening to everybody and everything that's happening around us. Mm-hmm. We tend not to pay attention to what's happening around us.
Why is that?
The reality is that everybody and everything happening around us is part of this world, and it's happening for a reason. That's something I've learned. If we were listening more, if we were paying more attention to what the world is telling us, our life would change completely. So again, consider just, why don't you do yourself a favor? Why don't you play today your life as a game? You just surrender to whatever is happening around you. Just listen to people. If someone offers you to do something, just do it, as opposed to, no. I'm so busy. I have so many phone calls to make today. I have so many appointments already. I have to do this and this and this and this. No. Just play the game of your life or your business today. Just play. Just do silly things. Just say yes to things that you typically say no. Just change it. Do it. What do you have to lose? It's one day. It's one day. And needless to say, most of the things that we are afraid of never happen. That's the crazy stuff. So no wonder, I mean, you've obviously heard about people that say our thoughts create our reality. Obviously, where we are today is a consequence of everything that we have thought and we have done till today. We can't evade that responsibility. That's who we are today. Whatever we decided that we did up until today is what's happening to us today. Okay? That's the reality that we live in today. So, hey, change that today. What do you have to lose? When it's summertime, come on. It's summertime. What's going to happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? Even today, I was so daring today that even I know we were going to shoot this. I wear shorts. I'm wearing shorts today. I said, oh my God.
Looks really great.
Oh no, thank you. So I said, oh my God, I'm not gonna be up to Jeff's expectations for shooting a video today. But they said, so whatever. What's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Someone is gonna start laughing at me. They see my legs. Whatever. It's just, we are so full of.
Thank you, Denise.
We're living. Thank you. We're living up to the expectations of everybody else. It's just like that. So, those are the 4 steps, and that's, so that's the limiting belief. And so for whoever has the limiting belief, and a lot of people, and, have you realized, I mean, I don't have anything about media. I'm myself, part of the entertainment industry because I'm a host for Mindalia TV. So, but, why don't you also start looking at the news that you are exposed to? Why don't you actually start looking at the news and analyzing, are those news, going to serve me, or are they going to make me be fearful of my future? Just think about this. Are they going to get me closer to that reality, or are they going to, that I want to create for my life and for my business, or are they going to take me away or far away from there? It's crazy. Isn't it crazy? I mean, just watch. I mean, I decided personally not to watch the news anymore on TV, for instance.
Right.
And again, I don't have anything against any TV network, again, because I'm a part of a different, special one, completely different to this kind of things, but this kind of news. But we decided to stop watching them because 99% of those news, unfortunately, do not serve my family or myself. So we decided no more of them. No more of them. Can you live in a world without news? Well, my experience is I've been like 3 or 4 years already. I forgot.
Tom Copeland.
So whatever.
Yes. Former film commissioner of Texas.
Look at that. Oh, awesome. Welcome, Tom. Thank you for joining us.
I was an intern of Tom.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
Okay, Tom, can you tell us how good Jeff was so everybody knows?
He's going to go, who is Jeff?
Who is
Jeff?
Jeff?
This guy? I barely recognize him.
Okay, so you can share that. We're in a very non-judgmental space here, so you can do, and you can say, feel free to share with us anything. Obviously, we all love Jeff for one reason or another.
I also want to encourage the audience, if there's any ways in which you have dealt with fears effectively, if you can, any strategies you have that you could text us and what it is, or also some books that you've read, other resources that have been helpful to you, be great in the comments there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, thank you. So what's the next limiting belief that we have?
Well, I want to ask you
Yes.
more specifically, let's say about the scripting process. So from what I understand about it is that we're going to script essentially the future that we want, or the reality
in the present tense.
In the present tense.
Yes.
Speak in the present tense.
Yes.
And so also, I think you were talking about using all of the senses. Like I'm waking up and I feel wonderful. It smells great out. I hear the laughter of my friends, or whatever it is. To be very detailed in that scripting of what we want. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. Thank you. Exactly. So what's the reason why we do that is because the way we connect with our reality, physical reality or physical world, is through our senses. So the best way to make sure that this script that we are writing about our new reality that we are creating, our new business, our new world, our new life, is really has all those details that are going to be the same ones as when we really live that reality. It's the exact same thing. So we have to use, you have to describe how we smell our new life, how we smell our new world, really, how we see it, how we feel it how we hear it, how we feel it. We have to use all our five senses, to make sure that we're able to describe this our new world. And again, it has to be in present tense. Otherwise, it's like, we wish that we would be able to do that. No. It's already happened. And actually, you are in the film industry, so I think that, scripting for the film industry is extremely important. And I have to say that obviously actors and actresses, they are so good in performing in someone else's shoes, that they are very good in changing roles and actually living new realities. That's a true story. Did you ever wonder, besides the fact that, obviously some of them make a lot of money because they're very famous, very popular, and they're in very, very, movies which are very popular and they make a lot of money in movie theaters. Besides that, actors and actresses have a real ability to change, their lives because they are able to live their lives as if they were someone else. That's what they do, right?
Sure.
They pretend being someone else.
Scripting a new character that they're moving into.
Absolutely. So they're really powerful. Really, really, really powerful.
When it comes to scripting, my sister's fear, was that, she's moving from a walker to a cane, and she actually fell down while using a cane because her leg was hurting at the time. We didn't know exactly why. And so I've just been encouraging her to imagine that scenario where she's doing it effectively, doing it, she's handling, she's taking the training from her physical trainers and walking in that securely, but then also moving into where she's dropping the cane and walking freely. But
and let me ask you a question. Let me challenge you.
That was her fear. So I wanted to address the fear specifically, but then doing well with that.
Let me tell you something. So what happens when you're actually in your scripting, you're focusing on your fear.
Okay.
So my suggestion would be, why don't you tell your sister, why don't you suggest her to be dancing in her new reality?
That's cool.
Why dropping her cane? No dropping her cane.
Yeah.
Why not dancing? Come on.
Okay.
Let's bring Denise on. Let's dance, Denise. Why not? Come on. Absolutely. Let's have your sister, Jeff, to dance. Does your sister like to have fun?
Yes.
Okay, good. So
Denise's comments too.
Okay, awesome. So hey, you come here and we start dancing, and we dance and we start dancing. Let's say, what's the dance that is the most dramatic dancing that we can have? I mean, it can be rock and roll. I love rock and roll. I love dancing, so I love rock and roll. I love waltz. I have to say I love waltz because you go around all the time and
Tango, salsa.
Exactly. So ask her to dance, to imagine how she would feel dancing. When I close my eyes and I feel dancing, I just feel moving. I feel the freedom of going around, of rotating, of going around and
really feeling it, imagine.
Absolutely, just exactly, and and holding someone in my arms, dancing, holding someone. If rock and roll is maybe a little bit different, but and then I love having ladies going around. I love the figures. I'm not sure how they are called, but I love doing figures with my partners. So I love doing that. Why not having your sister imagine the same thing? That she has a wonderful dancing partner that's taking her everywhere.
So a more vibrant picture and something more engaged, where you're fully moving your body and in health and in freedom. Things like that.
Absolutely.
Maybe just going with that thought on a deeper base.
But just describe it. You know, I wait, you know, there's this gentleman that comes to me, he asks me for permission to dance with me, and then I stand up, I say yes, thank you very much, let's dance together, and then there's this very powerful music. What music it is, what song it is, you know, what song it is, in which part of the song you're actually listening to.
Why is this detail so important?
Because that gives you exactly the definition of that moment. The more detailed it is, excuse me, I'm getting out of frame here, the more
Jennifer
precise.
Bedford has joined us.
Hi, Jennifer.
That's
thank
a
you.
very special moment.
Thank you for being here with us. So the more precise, the more details you put on your story, the more rich it is and the closer it is to reality. You know, everything. You can even, you know, I am right now, I'm so close to the body of my dancing partner that I'm smelling his perfume. And his perfume is, I don't know, Chanel, or
Thank you, Kelly.
her perfume, or his perfume is whatever, you know, so everything. And, you know, I'm touching he's wearing a blazer because we're in this ballroom. Okay, so your sister is in this ballroom with this gentleman, who has this blazer, and I'm touching the blazer, and the blazer is like that. I don't know if you remember before. I don't know if that happened here, but they remember in Spain, where I'm originally from. You know, they used to the ladies used to carry this handkerchief that they would put, you know, they used to put on their shoulders of the gentlemen. They would when they were dancing. So. I mean, you can perceive everything. So, you know, it's touch. You know, what would be, again, the smell, the taste. So maybe you are just, you know, the smell is so profound that smell makes you, you know, remember a particular taste. That happens very often, that we have different senses.
It also reminds us of people too, you know,
exactly.
Memories attached.
Exactly. So again, the richer the description is, the closer it's going to be for you, the easier it's going to be for you to be in that reality.
Just step into that reality that you want, that you're moving into.
Exactly.
One of the things I also wanted to bring up, Angel, was something that I've been doing recently, and was so funny. I was listening to a video on YouTube on the way over here with Denzel Washington, and he was doing exactly what I've been doing. He listened to me, and he started doing it. I don't know what it is. I have that effect on famous movie stars.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, no, but it was coincidental.
So what's his name again?
Denzel Washington.
Oh, Denzel Washington,
yeah.
Of course.
So, you know,
so
my goodness,
he's watching us? Okay, good. Hey, Denzel, how are you? Thank you.
But actually, for the last few days, I've been doing this. And so it's about prayer. And so what I've been doing in the morning, I said, I want to pray differently. I'm tired of praying the same way and like asking God for stuff. And whatever it is, I started thanking God for my new world.
Exactly.
Thanking God, you know, that I have wealthy, that I have more than enough money coming in each and every day, that I have wonderful friends that are beautiful, that lift me up every time I'm around them. And that...
You know why?
What?
You know what's going to happen?
What?
You know what's going to happen?
What?
I don't know if you guys realize, but he's getting emotional here. Okay, he's getting emotional.
Don't say that.
Do you see his eyes? Yeah,
No.
I've got to.
I don't do that.
I've got to know Jeff a little bit for the past few months.
I'm very macho.
Oh, come on. I had the other day a lady on one of my shows on Mindali TV that said that vulnerability is the new sexy. Vulnerability is the new sexy. So don't worry, Jeff. You're in good hands. This lady is called Alana Pratt. She's a wonderful lady.
So I'm
a good
very
friend.
sexy. I get it.
You are very very sexy.
The guy just told me I'm sexy. I don't know if I like that.
Vulnerability is the new sexy. So what were we talking about right now? Sorry, what's the point?
I was sharing prayer into what I wanted.
So gratitude is the ultimate receivership. That would be the right word. Okay. Gratitude is the ultimate receivership. So actually, you know, if you read those books of people who interview the billionaires in the world.
Amen to that.
Exactly. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Kali. So, you know, gratitude is the ultimate receivership state. And when you talk to, you know, multi-billionaires, they always say the same thing. If they ask them, whoever talks to them, they ask them, what's the number one advice you would give people is, be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Excuse me, was I touching the...
We've noticed a wonderful design table from Nadim, Adventure X, is it causes this.
We
and
have to tighten up the screws. Oh my God.
All right.
Excuse me, guys. Yes.
All right. So go ahead.
So anyway, gratitude is the ultimate receivership state, which means that exactly. I mean, I'm the same way as you. You know, I like, you know, obviously. Well, I believe in God. I mean, everybody is obviously free to think or have their own beliefs. I believe in God. I as opposed to praying, what I do is I have intentions, right? I think I've mentioned that before, but I have intentions, right? I intend for something. I try to focus my energy for achieving something every single day.
Yeah.
But gratitude is one of the most powerful ways you can use your energy to be grateful for what you have for receiving. So when you are grateful for something that's going to happen in the future, when you are scripting something as if you had already had it, that's very, very powerful, very, very strong. I mean, I personally know people that have events in which they measure with devices, with physical devices, they measure the energy of the audience, of the entire room, even of individuals. That's possible to be done today.
How do you do that?
Okay, there's a machine that does that. Well, there's many machines, but there's a particular kind of actually Russian origin machines. No, that's a true story. Okay. So, and what I'm saying that because when we pray together, when we intend together for something, the power that we actually bring together is much more. There's a synergy in creating.
Right. I mean, there's a verse in the Bible like where two or more are gathered in my name, there I'll be. And so I think there's something powerful about it, and something, you know, talking to you and some other people, it's not just. There's something about that energy, however we put it, whether God or whatever it is. There's something that principle is so powerful. It's a universal law. Even if you're not from a Christian background, that you're intending something together. You're creating something. I think also we talked about the vibratory nature of the world, and the vibrations that we put out is what comes back to us, and that's prevalent throughout every religion, I think, in the world. And I think it's so important. I really thought about that. The energy that I'm putting out, the people that I'm bringing into my life. I want to bring wonderful people into my life, wonderful experiences, and so I want to give that. And that's one of the reasons I'm motivated for this today. Is I hope that we can bless people's lives by helping them to overcome their fears. And so that through that intention and through prayer, coming together as a group, that there's a power in that. You agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, it's been shown, it's true.
Any stories about a group coming together and some amazing things?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So there's this book called The Power of Eight.
Right.
The Power of Eight.
The Power of Eight.
You know, I talked about that the other day. The Power of Eight by Lynn McTaggart. The Power of Eight.
Yes.
That this lady has actually established, you know, hundreds of Power of Eight groups. I'm actually a member of one of these Power of Eight groups. Every single morning, we meet at 8 a.m. every morning, and every single week, just for 10 minutes every single day. I've been 32 weeks now, intending a group of 8 people every single day for 10 minutes only, but every single day, 10 people at the same time, we intend for something to happen. And it's amazing what happens when we do that. The other day I was suggesting, hey, businessmen, why don't you sit down? You take your employees, even if they're not 8 or they're more than 8, why don't you sit down and you just intend for something? Again, even if you are or you are not religious, it doesn't matter. Why don't we intend? Why don't we have an intentional day as opposed to a day in which we don't know what's going to happen? Why don't we try to create our day? Why don't we try to focus our energy and intend to have something done that day, you know, to create our reality as a group, as a company? That's extremely powerful. But remember, simple, fast, and fun. Simple, fast, and fun. Simple, fast, and fun. I like simple because if it's simple, nobody's going to do it. Okay? Simple, fast, something which is really fast to be done. Okay? It's fast. It's like, you know, no-brainer. And fun, you know, when there's fun, there's additional energy. When there's additional energy, oh my God, everything runs, everything flows, and it's amazing, and we feel right, and we actually retro-feed ourselves because it's fun. It's this additional energy. You know, it's it's games.
Yeah.
Again, I challenge you. We should organize some sort of challenge.
I have a real something silly.
You have something silly?
A silly challenge.
Okay, let's
I don't know what. Okay, this is it's slightly weird, but it is.
Okay.
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 Now there's a guy on television, a famous minister, Joel Osteen. And he's always talking about, yeah, every time. I have a very thick Texas accent, and I don't know if that's Texas, but I'm Texas. So anyway, I go to the parking lot, and I imagine having a parking space right there in the front, and I get one. I talks about that, and so I've been doing something silly. Okay, I don't know what it is, and so I'm driving down the road, and I say it's Giovanni Palavicini. Yes, Callie agrees. So that's done. That's the end of the show. Callie agrees. It's done. So anyway, and I want to say this: if Jennifer's still there, she approves of this message. She approves of this. It's an inside. No, that's Jennifer.
Jennifer.
It's an inside joke. Anyway, whatever.
Oh, it's an inside joke.
So here's something silly I've been doing. I'm driving down the road. I say, it's all green and it's all go. And so I will imagine that every single light that I'm coming to is green.
It's all green in present tense.
It's all green and it's all go. That's called a metaphor as well. Okay. So that can be used as a metaphor. So anyway, invariably I'm going through green light after green light after green light. Now, of course, I am slowing down and speeding up at times to help me reach this, reality. But it's happening more and more, and I find it interesting. And so I'm in a ridiculous way.
Hi, Margarito.
Margarito Trejo. I think that we met through Telemundo.
Awesome.
It's been a while though.
Oh, I'm gonna be in Telemundo soon. By the way, did I tell you?
No.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I'm an FC Barcelona fan, but
And Nick Turnbow
okay.
has a production company. I can't remember the name of it again. Sorry, Nick. And he went out through production.
Awesome. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that was
it's all green. It's all go.
It's all green. It's all go.
Okay, good. I've done that. Sometimes we go with the family and we want to find a parking spot in front of the bakery we'd like to go.
Yeah.
And then what we do is while we are in the car approaching the place, everybody in the car, my entire family, 5 people, we say, there's a parking spot in front of the bakery. It's done. And we say, done. It's done.
It's done.
It's done. It's done. When you say it's done, you put this extra energy, and then you send that, as we said before, we send that to the universe, and that happens. And one day we did it so loud and so powerfully that we actually had 3 spots.
We had 3 spots.
And it was a Sunday, and if you know Greenville in Dallas, okay, so that very populated area full of restaurants where Trader Joe's, excuse me, sorry to say something commercial, but anyway, so 3 spots at 6 p.m. on a Sunday on Greenville Avenue.
That's pretty good.
Okay, that's pretty good. 3, it's done. It's done.
It's done.
It's done. So exactly, thank you.
It's done.
Okay. So amazing, exactly. So what do you think that Albert Einstein is thinking of us now?
I don't know. He's looking over us with his formulas and his genius.
Exactly. We're tapping into everybody's genius today.
Right.
With this session today. Okay.
Well, I think that we're pretty good. We're at 48 minutes. So
yeah,
I think it'd be good to wrap it up. I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you,
Angel. I also want to mention that I'm presently building a course called Tap Into Your Genius, where it's going to say specifically how we can tap into the genius parts of our brains. And Angel is going to be a part of that, but we'll also have experts. I agree, Eric. Application of these ideas is everything. Use them, please. No, okay. But talking to experts all over the world and developing specific process on how we can tap into the genius parts of our brain. And I believe that it's possible. And I think that many of us have that sense of like these certain gifts that we have and that we see flashes of it, but that we wish we could just develop it so we can become fully who I think we were meant to be. So that's going to be coming out soon. If you follow that, you can go to my site, imaginationmediaevents.com. And I did a Tap Into Your Genius event recently on July 14th. Angel was one of our performers. Oliver Bennett Schlapper was one of our other performers. And we have interesting films and live performers. And the next one's going to be October 20th. I just also want to remind the audience about your charity, wisdomforkids.today. Wisdomforkids.today.
Thank you.
You can find out what...
what we do is we help underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using the local resources.
Right.
Exactly. So thank you for...
To step out of poverty and to empower those kids with a belief. And I think that's so awesome. And to get them at a young age. And so I love that you're doing that. And hope all you guys will check out the charity there and even think about giving. So how about until next time?
Yeah,
Angel?
absolutely. Thank
Okay.
you.
So thank you everybody for dropping in. And you can also direct message me any thoughts about the show, any ways we can improve it, and also with any perhaps limiting beliefs or fears you want us to address. I appreciate it. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, okay?
Bye-bye. Thank you for being
Bye-bye.
here. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.